What's going on, Lion fans? Yeah, man. First video I did about the Lions is off season, man. I'm gonna address some things. I'm not gonna address everything like I was planning on doing before in this one video. I'm gonna spread them out. I'm gonna make various videos. I'm gonna try maybe to make a video a week or something on the off season. Definitely gonna try to make a free agency special video before we get there in March. The new league year starts in March, so um, I'm gonna definitely talk about free agency and what we need to do in free agency and stuff like that. Um, Obviously, this year has been a very important off season for us, man. And we just had Calvin Johnson retire earlier this week, but it's nothing really official yet with that. Still kind of speculatory, but I think everyone's assuming that it's going to go down that way, that he's going to retire. But some people think he's going to change his mind. I think Nate Burleson threw it out there that he thinks that Calvin will be back. Um, but at this point, for Bob Quinn, he needs to worry about. He doesn't need to worry about Calvin Johnson, and I honestly believe this. You can believe what you want, but I honestly believe Bob Quinn doesn't want Calvin back. I think that he wants to, because the way I was reading it was that I think that Bob Quinn wants to start to build this organization in his vision. Now, I think part of the problem that I'm already seeing with Bob Quinn this season, this off season, is that I think the ownership is meddling in a lot. I like Mama Ford, but I think she's meddling in too much in some of his decisions. Like, I know he didn't want to keep Jim Caldwell, and he was forced to do that. And I think that from a business aspect, I think she wants to keep Calvin Johnson because he sells a lot of tickets, he makes a lot of money for the team, and all that shit. But I think Bob Quinn is more worried about building the team, and he doesn't really care about all of that shit, and he shouldn't. He should be worried about trying to put a winner out there on the field, and I agree more with Bob Quinn that if he's not really interested in bringing Calvin back, I think that's. And I'm actually not really mad at the decision because I think the Lions do need to move on from Calvin Johnson. I mean, they could still use him, but I was telling you guys last year that I think Matthew Stafford's ready to move on without Calvin because he's been playing pretty good without him. In games where he has played with Calvin, I thought Stafford still looked pretty good. And I think sometimes when Calvin's out on the field, he's a detriment sometimes because, sometimes like Stafford has gotten a lot better in the last couple of years of not really forcing the ball all the time to Calvin like he used to do his first few years in the league. Like, I remember when Stafford used to just fucking force that ball to fucking Calvin. I was like, why the fuck you throw it right there? He's like triple team this shit, and he got this motherfucker over here open. But I think once we got Tate in here, I think that really totally, like, got Matthew Stafford used to throwing the other guys. And the way our offense has been under Jim Bob Cooter, the ball has been spread out a lot more in the offense. You've noticed that everyone touches the ball now, and that's how it is in the Patriots organization with Tom Brady. Everyone touches the fucking ball at least once. The last few games we were seeing that New Orleans, San Francisco, and Chicago, everyone was touching the fucking ball, and I loved it. T.J. Jones was getting in, Ebron. I think what's dude named the tight end Tim Wright. He touched it. If he touches it, everyone's fucking getting it. But everyone was getting the ball, man. I mean, and that's how I wanted this team to always be, anyways. Because I thought Stafford, the type of thrower he is, he will do a lot better spreading the ball around. And I think not having, man, I mean, if we don't have Calvin next year, I think this offense could be fucking prolific. I actually think it's going to be actually better without him because for this reason, like I said before, he's not going to have Calvin to really look to. So now he's going to be throwing to everybody, and everyone's going to get more touches, and that's going to make us more unpredictable as an offensive unit, not having a huge star out there, someone that the defense is always going to be focused on and shit like that. But I think that we're going to do well. Before I get back more into that, let me talk about the whole retirement thing as a whole. Because I haven't had the chance to speak about the whole Calvin Johnson thing this whole offseason just yet. To me, I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad at Calvin. I knew it was coming anyways because you've been hearing rumblings basically since the offseason last year that he might consider retirement. So it never was a surprise to me that he did make this, well, supposed decision. I mean, at the time I'm making this video, it's still not official yet. But it's been thrown out there to the national media that, he's retiring early in the week. But, I think I can understand Calvin Johnson. Plus, I think his mom was a huge influence on this decision. His mom works in the medical field, so I think she probably warned him. I mean, a lot of these football players, I mean, it's going to be a trend. I think we saw Patrick Willis last year, guys, star players like that retiring early in their careers. Because, I mean, Calvin Johnson still like at least 5 years left. Let's just be honest about that. But he wants to save his body. But, I'm going to come at it from another angle too in just a second. But, like I said, I understand the decision. I respect it. He's also got a family now. He's about to get married this summer. He just wants to start his post-football life a little earlier. I mean, I've got no problem with that. He gave us his time. I think the best thing about this decision is, at least for us Lion fans, we could say that Calvin played in one uniform his whole career. Even though for me personally, if he played for another team, like if the Lions traded him this past year, I wouldn't have been mad at him. I wouldn't have been like, oh, he's a traitor or whatever. I mean, I would rather actually see Calvin Johnson in a position where he can win. As much as I don't like the Carolina Panthers, I mean, that probably would have been a nice pickup for their little Super Bowl run here to have Calvin Johnson on their team. Or even New England. Y'all know I like New England, so that would have been a fucking bonus for me to have him on the fucking Patriots having Tom Brady throw to him and shit. But, I mean, I would have been cool with that. But it's cool to have like Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson playing one uniform. I could at least take that away from him. But I do have negatives about their retirements and the way they did it. Now, both of them retired early, but I believe, the thing about Barry was Barry's retirement was way different from Calvin Johnson. He can't really compare the two, although they were similar because both guys kind of retired in their prime. But honestly, Barry, in that 1998 season, I thought he was becoming washed up, a shell of himself, just like Calvin Johnson is, a shell of himself. Even though they were still productive, they just weren't the same players. Like Barry's last great season was 1997. He retired in 99. He retired in 1999. Barry was fucking phenomenal in 1997. But you felt it. And running backs don't last that long in this league anyways. They're the first position to retire in the NFL. So it's not unusual for running backs to retire around the age of 30 or whatever, But, like I said, when Barry retired, he was getting back at the organization. So a lot of people still kind of, are both sides on that whole thing with Barry. I could come from an understanding. When he retired, I remember I was younger then, so I was mad. I was fiercely mad about the shit. I was even mad at Barry, but then I got over it real fast once the season started. But the thing about it is, I had a chance to look this over. I knew from the year before that the Lions had one more playoff year in them, and they did. They made the playoffs in '99, barely getting in. They got in as a wild card, and they lost to the Redskins, a team that always beat our ass in the fucking playoffs. and when we went to the playoffs those years, we always seemed to get eliminated by an NFC East team during the 90s, man. We always got eliminated by the fucking NFC East team. Like I said, because we lost to the Eagles in that blowout game. I believe that was 95, 96, no, 95, I think. And, and like I said, man, for me with the whole Barry thing, I knew he was about to be on the downside of his career, and the Lions organization was going to start rebuilding. And they did that, all the way going into Matt Millen's first year running the team. Obviously, that ended up turning into a disastrous decade for us, the 2000s. But I knew it was time for Barry to walk away. Either walk away or go to a different team. And the only thing I didn't like about Barry's decision was when he did it and the way he did it. He left. He didn't answer any questions the whole offseason. He kept quiet. He did basically what Ricky Williams did to the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if y'all remember what Ricky Williams did to the Miami Dolphins back in I think what was that was that old? It had to have been like '04, I believe. '04, when he deserted the team, didn't show up to training camp. And remember, Ricky Williams was a monster the first 2 years with the Dolphins, man, and they really needed him. And that was a team, that was a veteran team too. That was on, on the other side of their, little run there. And by the way, real quick, man, Miami Dolphins uniforms were sweet back there. I was watching a couple of throwback games with the Miami Dolphins in those uniforms, the Dan Marino last game in the Kingdom. Man, I was like, their uniforms right now are okay. It's too much white in those motherfuckers, but I really like those aqua jerseys that they had back in the 90s and 2000s, man. Those are some sweet-ass uniforms. Especially with the way they had them on the road with the aqua pants. That shit was sweet. But anyways, sidetrack like a motherfucker right there. But yeah, I mean, Ricky Williams did it. He basically deserted his team and shit. So it was sort of like that with Barry. But the thing about it was, it's a different situation because, in my opinion, Calvin had no excuse for retiring right now. Now, I'm going to say this. Calvin, I've got some questions about his willingness to win. I think that he's a guy that really wanted to play baseball from what I heard, but chose football. And at this point, Calvin Johnson probably should have played baseball, but I don't know what sport he's a hell of an athlete, so I don't know if he would have excelled better in baseball. Baseball, obviously, a much more harder sport, but it's also a sport where you can play a lot of years and make a lot of money, obviously. But Calvin Johnson made his money anyways in this league, so he's got no problems there. He's still going to get paid this year, even not playing. But this is the one thing I've always questioned about Calvin Johnson, because he's a gentleman type dude, very quiet, reserved type dude. You don't really hear a lot of rah-rah from him. But his teammates like him. But I also had to believe that his teammates are probably like, what the fuck, dude? You deserting us, because this is a year where I really feel like the Lions are just a couple. Now, I'm one of those people that believe they're like a few pieces away from putting together another playoff team. Obviously, we're getting DeAndre Levy back and stuff like that. And as long as we keep Stafford healthy, we always got a chance to fucking win. But I believe that we were close to it, and I felt like Calvin Johnson was going to at least give his team another year to try to make it back to the postseason. Because I would have accepted it more if he would have retired next year, because next year is the year where I feel like with this current team that we have, I feel like this is the last shot we're going to get with this team that we have to do something. If we don't do something, I think Bob Quinn is going to blow it up and start from scratch again and rebuild. Which I don't want to go. I don't want to go through another rebuild. I mean, I really don't. And I like the way this team is. I think that this team is missing something from getting to that next level. We missing like our version of Luke Kuechly and shit like that. Thomas Davis. We missing those kind of pieces. Aqib Talib and Von Miller and shit we missing those kind of players on this team. Something like that one centerpiece that could take us to the next level. And I feel like that's all it really is. And like I said, I just don't like Jim Caldwell as the head coach. But, I mean, his assistants, the greatest thing about this offseason, I mean, we've been lucky the last 2 years. We still got Terrell Austin in here, and we're going to keep Jim Bob Cooter. So, right now, I'm pretty happy about the whole assistants thing. But, like I said, I don't know if Jim Caldwell was brought back to try to keep Calvin Johnson. If that was the case, this nigga needs to be fired right now. But, I mean, I'm cool with keeping Caldwell another year. Let's really see what Caldwell's about. But if he don't make the playoffs next year, he got to get the fuck out of here. He got to get the fuck out. There's no questions about it. I think if we went into another position where if we go into the second half with a bad record again, sub 500 record, he needs to be out of here by the middle of the year. I wouldn't even give him to the end of the year next year. Unless Bob Quinn wants to tank for that first pick or some shit. But I don't think the Lions are going to struggle this year, honestly, unless we have some unfortunate injuries. I think that's the only thing that's going to stop us from really picking up right where we left off next year. Because, you know, Green Bay will probably always beat every Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to have Jordy Nelson back. But truly, I think they may struggle trying to get back to the playoffs next year. I think Minnesota's got some question marks, even though they got a good defense. I think their offense, I could see them having sort of a down year. Like the Lions, remember how the Lions went to the playoffs last year? They had a down year the following year. They could have that. I think the one X factor for them always is Adrian Peterson. I think Adrian Peterson can always put them in a position to get to the playoffs. But if I had to choose between the Packers and the Vikings, I'd probably choose the Vikings to make it again. But it's uncertainty. I still don't know with the Bears. I still think the Bears are like a couple of years away, but they could sneak up and make the playoffs. I don't know. I don't know how this division is going to be next year. It's actually really a questionable division. I can't even predict how it's going to be like I did last year. Because even last year, I still had the Packers making it to the playoffs, and I actually had the Vikings maybe having a shot for the wild card, but I thought we would also be better. I thought it'd be a 3-team race because I knew the Bears were going to be at the fucking bottom, and they proved it. You know, like I said, this season, you know, I hope that Calvin Johnson didn't hold us out, man. You know, I'm really fucking worried about that with him, that he hold us out like that. We can't be totally certain about that shit, but for right now, that's where I'm going with it. But like I said, you never know. It might have been something else that went on, but you know, let's see. You know, but yeah, that's my thoughts on the Calvin Johnson thing right now. We'll see if there's anything official after, because I know they might be waiting until after the Super Bowl to really officially announce his retirement. Because you know how the NFL doesn't really want any outside press, and I'm surprised they actually got out there about Calvin Johnson's retirement, like right at the Pro Bowl, right before Super Bowl week started. I'm surprised they even got out there like that. So, you know, but we'll see. But like I said, the one thing that I do respect about Calvin Johnson's decision, if that's a decision for right now, at least he gave Bob Quinn a chance, an early notification. Because Bob Quinn did need to know. I mean, and I think Bob Quinn should go into this offseason acting like Calvin Johnson's not coming back. Regardless, unless Calvin Johnson says himself that he will be back this season, Bob Quinn should keep, looking in this organization by doing it. Now, I know y'all probably want to hear receiver replacement for Calvin Johnson, because obviously we're going to need a new number one. I think Golden Tate could hold it down for a little bit. Only thing about Golden Tate, he's a little bit undersized to be a number one. And I like Golden Tate more as a second receiver, but they got no choice at this point but to use him. See, the problem for the Lions right now at that spot was that the problem was that it was this. All right. Corey Fuller was supposed to. Corey Fuller was supposed to develop into being Calvin Johnson's replacement way back in 2013. He's never developed. I mean, it's gotten so bad for Corey Fuller that T.J. Jones actually passed him up in the depth chart. You know what I mean? And this is T.J. Jones. What's his T.J. Jones, like second year with the team? Oh, let me look this up with T.J. Jones real quick. Yeah, second year with the, I thought so. Second year with the team coming out of Notre Dame. Um, and the thing about T.J. Jones was, you know what I mean? Like T.J. Jones is a guy who wasn't expected to be as good as he ended up being in 2015. Like, I mean, this dude's got a huge upside to really. He's only 23. Bargain, you know, if I look at his birthday here, he's going to be 24 going into next season. So he's a young guy. And the thing about it is, with TJ Jones is that he's a guy who, in my opinion, can become the new slot guy at his team. And he could replace Golden Tate at the second receiver position. But I think that, see, there's been a lot of talk from Lions fans about Alshon Jeffrey. Now, that'd be huge if we could get Alshon Jeffrey. But I think the Bears are going to franchise tag his ass and keep him there another season. And then ultimately, next season will probably be the year where Alshon Jeffrey will really be on that market. Because I'm not sold whether or not Alshon Jeffrey wants to stay in Chicago. I'm not really sold on that just yet. You know, he had a really injury-prone season last year. So there's obviously, you know, there's going to be that risk playing out with him as well. And that's one thing that I'm a little bit fearful of with that whole thing. But I would still pick his ass up though. Because you want to talk about a big body target receiver, a guy who historically destroys the Lions. We could get him out of the fucking division as far as like, you know, as far as him not being on the Bears. That'd be huge for us. I mean, if we can even target him. But I'm warning people right now, I really think Bob Quinn is going to run this organization just like New England does. I think it's going to be a lot of homegrown talent. I don't think it's going to be super huge in the free agent market, but I mean, New England has picked up some decent sized names, especially on the defensive side of football, like Darrelle Revis, you know, last year, who really was a key cog in them winning the Super Bowl last year. Having that run like they did, and I thought that's what New England was kind of missing this year was a Darrelle Revis on that team, and I think he will still go after various guys, but I think he's going to build this thing from the ground up as far as really bringing in guys that he's going to build through the organization. I think that's how our team is going to be, you know, sort of like what Green Bay does. You know, they bring in a lot of their own guys, not too many outside free agents. You know, they'll do it every now and then, but like for the most part, they keep their own guys for the, you know, their whole career, whatever. And I always like that direction that teams take when they build their own. You know, I think that's more cost effective and it's more better to do it that way because you build your team through the draft anyway. You build your teams through the draft, really not free agency, because I think everyone's fearful of a Byron Maxwell, of them getting their Byron Maxwell. And lucky for us, Haloti Nada turned out right for us during the second half of the season, because that first half of the season was a nightmare with this dude. I was like, oh my God, this is not turning out right. And then, you know, not even just Byron Maxwell, Ndamukong Suh. I mean, you want to talk about someone that fucked up the legacy of his fucking career? Don't look no further than Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh is going to turn into one of the most saddest fucking football stories ever, because he's not going to be a Hall of Famer the way he's going with Miami. I believe he's going to be 30 this year. He's still got some time to turn his career around and turn into a Hall of Fame career. But he was on the road to a Hall of Fame career had he stayed here in Detroit. He fucked that shit up by leaving, and I knew that was going to happen. He took the money, ate it all up. I mean, motherfuckers really thought this dude was going to be like what Ricky Williams was to Miami when Miami brought Ricky Williams in from New Orleans. This nigga, I mean, it got so bad for Ndamukong Suh, they were looking to restructure his contract because he was making too much money. He wasn't playing for that amount of money, calling this his defensive shit when your fucking team actually went backwards from the year before when they was making a lot of progress, you know, and they went backwards fucking last year and shit. I mean, what a mess in Miami. Adam Gase, man. Tannehill just ain't the fucking quarterback. I'm gonna say it right. He just ain't the fucking quarterback. And Adam Gase should have came here. He should have actually probably just waited another year. I mean, it was his time to be a coach, but he probably should have waited another year. But man, hopefully that's good for us because that means we'll be able to get Josh McDaniels and Matt Patricia from New England. I'd love to bring one of them coaches in, man, to replace Caldwell next year. Hopefully, I mean, but Caldwell makes the playoffs. He's not going anywhere. But yeah, man, I mean, this team, Alshon Jeffrey is somebody who we can target, but I wouldn't be putting all my eggs into one basket and trying to get him. All right, we can always get a replacement for Calvin in the draft. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do, you know, that off-season video looking at the top, you know, receiver, you know, prospects, you know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of like different people. I mean, I know the big talk out there is Laquan Treadwell from Ole Miss. He's obviously a big target, guys. 6'2" guy. It'll be interesting, you know, to pick up a guy like that, you know. The only thing that the problem with him, he doesn't stretch defenses, so that's a problem. You know, he doesn't stretch defenses. A sleeper guy that no one really talks about here in Detroit about getting is Will Fuller from Notre Dame. I think that'd be an interesting guy. That guy, I mean, I saw a few Notre Dame games this year, and this dude was tearing teams up. Huge playmaker. I think he'll be a solid number one on this team. And he keeps with the Notre Dame legacy that we have here. T.J. Jones and Theo Riddick. I think that we've done a good job of recruiting guys out of Notre Dame coming here. He's another guy I like to see come here out of that Notre Dame system. I think Brian Kelly has done a great job getting his guys prepped for the NFL. And that's another thing. You know, you got a lot of teams that do well, like Ohio State and Alabama, but they don't have a good track record, especially quarterbacks for Ohio State. Oh, goddamn, they don't have a good track record of bringing in quarterbacks, you know, and Alabama doesn't either. But Alabama did have and running backs for them. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. But at least they had Michael Cooper last year. I mean, Amari Cooper last year, so that was different for them. Usually defense is where my Alabama guys do well in the NFL. It's usually on the defensive side. But, you know, I'm like this way with it. But we got we got Michael Thomas as well from Ohio State. I think that's another guy you can look at. Tyler Boyd, Corey Coleman is another guy that's been talked about here. But another guy that I'm really interested in is Josh Doctson from TCU. That's another guy that we could be looking at. You know, this is a guy who had, I believe, around 80 catches and around 15 touchdowns. That dude is explosive, dude. And he's the biggest target, I think, in the top 10 projected. He's 6'4". So he will be a great guy. Or actually, it might be De'Rania Wilson. I think Wilson was taller than him by about, what was Wilson, like 6'5", 6'6"? So if they're looking to bring in a big target, you could bring in one of those two guys. But you got Jalen Marshall, you got these like possession receivers that we could be looking at. You know, right now, I don't know what direction they could go in, but it's going to be interesting because the draft this year for the Lions is going to be very interesting because they're in a catch-22 situation where they really have to go either this direction or this direction. They may need to pick up a wide receiver in the first round. Now, the only position that I'm wavering off is obviously the obvious ones that we already got: quarterback, running back, and offensive line. Definitely no fucking offensive lineman in that first round. Like I told y'all before, in free agency, and when I do my free agency video, I'm going to go over the linemen that we can get. We need to address like at least one or two of those positions with linemen in free agency. That needs to be the number one pickup that we have in free agency is a new lineman. Alright? That needs to be the number one fucking pickup that we have in free agency this year. Alright? We need to go defense in that first round too, man. I mean, I'm torn because this whole Calvin Johnson thing kind of changes that where I think we might need a receiver too. It depends on the way the draft is going because wherever we're picking is outside of the top 10. So it depends on the way the draft is going. If there's more defensive players getting picked up in the first round, we might need to go defense. If there's more offensive players, specific receivers getting picked up in the first round, we might need to go receiver. So it's going to be hard. Because I agree with Man Beast, we need to pick up defense in the first round at all costs because we're deployed of talent on the defensive side. We need to give Ziggy some help. We need to give Darius Slay some help. We need to give DeAndre Levy some help. What we really need is a fucking linebacker first. We need a linebacker. We need a pass rusher. I think we need to pick up a Now, this is the thing. Defensive tackle, we might need to go high this year with a defensive tackle. I know a lot of people been talking about this nose tackle, Chucky Hunter. But I wouldn't touch him. We don't run a 3-4 here, so there's no reason to pick up Chucky Hunter right now. I probably wouldn't go with any nose tackles, really. But I think that wasn't Chucky Hunter from last year's draft? I think I got him. I think I got him confused with last year's. I think it was. Let me look real quick because I think he was last year's, wasn't he? Because I know some of these dudes stayed in an extra year. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. Yeah, guys. I mean, where we're picking, Joey Bosa. Remember, I was on his bandwagon most of the season. We're not going to get Joey Bosa. All right, I'm pretty dead set on that. We're not going to get Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa will be picked in the top 5 somewhere. He's been projected to go to San Diego or Tennessee. He could get picked first overall. Miles Jack is another guy who's going to get picked. And I really wanted Miles Jack. That was the only issue with the Lions finishing 6-2 was that they didn't get a higher position to get one of these defensive guys. But I think the draft is pretty deep on the defensive side this year. I think that we can get who we want to get almost anywhere deep in this draft. Because we're picking like number 16. There's a guy that I think that it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, 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 very interesting this year. Because I'm trying to look right now at defensive tackles who we could pick up this year. Obviously, Robinson from Alabama, I think that's the top guy that everyone's looking at. And I liked his motor at I believe that was a Senior Bowl that I was watching. I know Robert, I can't say his fucking name for shit. I can't, the nigga from Ole Miss, the D tackle from Ole Miss, I still can't say his name for shit. He's actually dropped a lot, man. I remember they were talking about him being a top 5 pick. He dropped a lot, man. And if he's still around, I know he's had some crazy problems. He jumped out a fucking window or whatever. He's got some issues off the field. But he's a big ass motherfucker. I will still go after if he's available, and he's ranked like number 19 right now as I'm looking at this shit right now. So he's a guy that we could get. Sheldon Rankins, obviously a guy that has been talked about. He will be a guy that we can get. Sheldon Rankins will definitely be a guy that will be on my list. You know, Andrew Billings from Baylor. He's another guy that we could get. So I don't know where we need to go. We got another good pass rusher, Leonard Floyd, but I would actually like him to go to the Raiders. I hope he falls to the fucking Raiders at number 14, man. Leonard Floyd from Georgia. I mean, that'd be pretty good. Vernon Hargraves, I think he might be picked up before. He's a corner from from Florida, and man, he will be. I don't know, man. He will be interesting, man. Because we definitely need another corner to opposite Slay. If we don't get Aqib Talib or someone like that, I don't have the free agent list in front of me right now, and I'm not going to do it in this particular video. I'm going to do it in my free agency video, but I'm going to try to see the guys who are ranked behind Aqib Talib in free agency this year. But we need to pick up another corner to go with Slay. Nevin Lawson isn't going to get it done because he's too undersized. He's better suited in the slots. He's better suited in the slots, in my opinion. And we need another safety. We need a middle linebacker. We need our Brian Urlacher to build around that middle to go with DeAndre Levy. And we need a pass rusher to go with Ziggy Ansah. We needed like a hybrid pass rusher who could play outside linebacker and defensive end. That way, when Jason Jones comes out, this nigga could play on the line. He could be converted back to outside linebacker, sort of like an Alvin Smith. We need that kind of guy, or Vernon. Shit, I forgot his name that quick. DeMarcus Ware and damn, I just forgot his name, man. The other nigga from Denver, man. I forgot his name that quickly, man. Oh my god. Y'all know Von Miller. It had someone on the opposite side, man, and so we're looking at that, you know, per se. But I don't know for sure. You know, but it's going to be interesting for sure this year because the Lions, it all depends on who they get in free agency. And a lot of it depends on Haloti Ngata because I don't know if he's coming back or not. I don't know if he's going to retire or there's speculation he might retire. He needs to hurry up and make that decision as well so we know what direction to go in as far as trying to get these tackles. I want to see more Gabe Wright. I want to see Karan. I mean, we've been seeing Karan Reed this year, so I guess we've been okay there. We still need to see more Calvin Noy. I think this is his third year now. I think they need to give him a chance to really battle for one of those linebacking spots. Need to really see what he can do, man, because Calvin Noy has too much time to be just coming off the fucking bench, man. And he played pretty well this year to me. So I think that we need to see what he can do. We need to replace Hedebo. We could still get another good couple of seasons out of Glover Quinn. He will be okay there. But yeah, there's just so many holes we got on defense, man. We're not going to get it all done in one off season. So Bob Quinn is definitely going to have to be looking at us hard and what we need to do there. Offensive side of the ball, like I said, we need to address a receiver. Running back, we can get one. We don't need to reach for one too early in the draft. We can probably get one later. I'm not feeling as good as I did when Leonard Fournette was the big name at one point in the season. I'm not feeling as good about the running back position right now. I think we can still fucks with Amir Abdul. Remember, we're getting Zach Zenner back. Theoretically could do his thing. We'll probably bring Jordan Bell back. I think we go with the same running back core that we had last year. I think with better line protection, these dudes could do what they do. On the offensive line, you obviously got Mike Ola. who was a godsend to us. He came out of nowhere and just played really well in Warford. The right side of the offensive line fucks with, but that left side of the line, y'all know how I feel about this nigga, Cornelius, Lucas, Riley Reef, these garbage ass holes. I'm still willing to give Laker Thompson a chance. Swanson had a really rough year. I think I give Swanson some because he played better at guard last year. I mean, he had to really replace Dominic Mariola, which was asking way too much of him. You know, he had to get used to a new position. I mean, that's a hard position to get used to, center, man, because you got so much to worry about. You got to hike the ball right. And you got guys coming through the middle out of nowhere. So I could fuck with Swanson for another year, but we got to take care of the left side of that line, man. Make Lincoln Thomason battle for his job. Don't just give it to him. So I say we need to get like at least 2 linemen on that left side. We need to get a couple of backups for the right side. So, like I said, we probably won't get the line, you know, totally structured this season, but it needs to be improved from last year. It needs to be improved. Whatever direction we go in, it needs to be fucking improved this year. So there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. Let's see. And obviously, last thing I want to address, and then I'm going to wrap this video up. Last thing I wanted to address in this video, Matthew Stafford. Look, I've changed my tune on Matthew Stafford after the Arizona game. I realized how much value he has to this team. And look, whatever Bob Quinn does with Matthew Stafford after this season, it's going to be. I really think another positive about Calvin Johnson retiring is he comes off the books. He frees up. I believe they said he frees up about $12 million in cap room. So that's good because we've got to pay Ziggy Ansah and Darius Slay, and we're going to we'll probably be paying Matthew Stafford, but this is going to be a huge year for Matthew Stafford because Matthew Stafford's going to have to do good in order to stay with this team, in my opinion. Because I think Bob Quinn probably has a different opinion about Stafford, where he would probably like to bring in his own quarterback, but man, that could be. I mean, for Bob Quinn, you're talking about one of the most difficult decisions he's going to have to make as a general manager, and that's the decision of either running the future with Stafford or not. Y'all know how I feel about it already. I don't have to say how I feel. We need to keep Matthew Stafford for the rest of his career. That's the nigga. You're not going to find 20 quarterbacks that produces like Matthew Stafford does, man. I know Matthew Stafford's had his disappointments in big games and shit. That's actually been really the only knock on this nigga because he's improved every single season. He's just coming off his most efficient season of his career. 2015 was easily the best season of his goddamn career. Easily. When you want to talk about the way it started and the way he finished, I mean, fucking awesome. The only bad game that he had in the second half was against the Rams. Only one bad game that entire second half of the season. And that was because Aaron Donald was getting back at the Lions for not drafting his ass. I mean, I'm really, really fucking determined that Rams game was all about Aaron Donald not wanting to see the fucking Detroit Lions win that game. Because he said it. He was like, he was mad that the fucking Lions didn't draft his ass. So I knew he was going to play hard as fuck. And by the way, really quickly, we need to get Aaron Donald in this fucking draft. We need to make up for that huge 2014 blunder in the draft. But anyways, like I said, with Matthew Stafford, you know, he's still got a lot of haters in his town. And that's why I really want to see Matthew Stafford not play with fucking Calvin Johnson this year, because it'd be some whole ass shit for people. I mean, if you a Stafford hater, if you're a Lion fan that's a Stafford hater, you're gonna really hate seeing Matthew Stafford do good without Calvin Johnson. And to me, he's capable of doing that for a whole season. I mean, he's already played without him. It's just the only difference is he hasn't had the whole season without him. He can play well without fucking Calvin Johnson. Look, all Stafford needs is a line to protect his ass. Because when he gets time to throw that fucking ball, he is deadly. He is fucking deadly. And we saw him become better with Jim Bob Cooter. He's going to just pick up right where he's left off. The only thing I'm worried about with Stafford is just continue to be the Iron Man that he's turned out to be since his first 2 years as a broken China doll. Like, since 2011, this nigga has played almost every fucking game. I mean, yeah, he's played every fucking. He's got a streak going right now. He's got one of them Brett Favre Iron Man streaks going right now. He's starting every fucking game since 2011. As long as we keep him healthy, we've always got his fucking chance. We've all, like Phillip Rivers said, we always got a fucking chance. You know what I'm saying? To win with this nigga. Alright? And like I said, I never want to see the day where Matthew Stafford is not on his team and he's playing for a different team, winning Super Bowl titles, and taking those teams to Super Bowl championships. No way. And that's going to ruin Bob Quinn's career. I'm not sure Bob Quinn wants to take that chance of Matthew Stafford leaving his town to go to another team, because I'm guaranteeing you right now, Matthew Stafford will start wherever the fuck he goes. A lot of teams, there will be a list of 20 teams, 15 to 20 teams right now, who will be on that phone about acquiring Matt Stafford as soon as Bob Quinn says, I want Matthew, I'm taking a flyer on trade Matthew Stafford, trying to get something for him. Now, I believe he's got 2 years left on his deal. This is the year where I think they will give him a contract extension this fall. They'll probably work on it all year. But I honestly believe with a new general manager in there, they might be waiting until the next offseason to do anything with Matthew Stafford, because I think that he's going to want to test this dude out. And I don't blame him. Like I said, even as a Matthew Stafford fan and a Matthew Stafford supporter like I've become over this last year, I really believe that we need to see what we got out of this nigga, because this is the year where I really believe that Matthew Stafford is going to have to prove himself. Because even though without having Calvin Johnson, people are going to give him that fucking excuse this year that he doesn't have Calvin Johnson out there. I'm not going to give it to him. I'm telling y'all that right now. I think Matthew Stafford is good enough to play without him. And at this point of his career, he should be able to play without a top-level superstar like that. He should be able to. So, especially if the line is protecting better this year, in a running game improves a lot from last year, he should be able to play a lot better. So I'm not giving him any fucking excuses. But that doesn't mean that we need to move on from Matthew Stafford either way. Even if he has a bad season, it doesn't mean that we need to go away from him, because it's so hard to find quarterbacks. I will still look to draft, but like I said, we're going to have probably a more heavier quarterback draft in the next couple of years. Maybe we can wait to target one of those guys, but even then, I will probably just like I said, we need to get a new backup quarterback. Ben Orlovsky not going to cut it on this team. We know that. Bob Quinn knows that. Like, it just needs to be a capable backup. We don't even need to draft like a starter just yet. I think the next 2 years, 2017, 2018 is when we need to be looking for a starter, but not this year. But so we'll see. We'll see how this thing turns out, because it's going to be very interesting with how the Lions build this fucking team in this off season. You know what I'm saying? We've already had a lot of things come out. It's already been pretty busy. Bob Quinn been cleaning house just like Mama Ford did last season. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting. One thing, because I know Lindsay, my girl Lindsay brought this to me, because even though the schedule isn't out yet, ticket prices have gone up. Now, we're not season ticket holders, so we don't have to commit to any season tickets by the end of the month like other Lion fans who are season tickets are going to do. I will never be a season ticket holder, because I'm not going to all 8 games, and I'm not I don't believe anybody that I know will go to all 8, so I don't feel like wasting my time. You know, if I lived in Detroit full time, I would probably go to all 8 games. But I like watching games on TV now, man. Ever since I settled down and, you know, with my new job, you know what I'm saying, I really haven't been wanting to, uh, go to games like that as much as I used to. But them season ticket prices are outrageous, man. They're going. I mean, they're going up next year. But I told her, man, I'll probably do about 2 games next year. But we're going to be doing at least about 2 road games next year because I'm going to Houston and I'm probably going to go to the Colts game in Indianapolis. So, we'll see which ones we go to. I usually always go to the Thanksgiving game, so that might be one. I don't know the other game that I'll probably go to, but I'm like, man, I can't believe these season ticket prices going up like they are. But good thing I'm not a season ticket holder. I feel for those people. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for this video. Check out my Judah Tribe video before this. I'll probably be making some NBA videos. Will I talk about the Super Bowl? I don't know. I'm not watching it, so fuck the Carolina Panthers, fuck the Denver Broncos. Y'all know where I stand on that shit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as another off-season video, could come next week, or the week after that. But be on the lookout. Free agent video, free agency video, and maybe I'll do a scout. I don't really care for the scout combine because it really don't tell me much. But maybe I'll make one because I'm going to be doing a lot of draft talk this year. It's going to be a very important draft for the Lions. So, we'll probably talk about it. And I'm going to do something new this year. I'm going to do something new for you guys this year. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do a mock draft by myself. I'm going to do a mock draft. I'm going to pick all the Lions picks, who I think they should go with. I'm going to do that. So that'll be a treat for you guys in April. Look out for that video in April. And I might do a video on who we should pick up, who I think we should pick up. I'm not a real capologist person, so I might fuck up there with that. But yeah, that's some things for you guys to look out for. I want to thank 303 Hitman for making this video. My other one private riders, Man Beast Morris, East Warren LB, Everything King. Y'all know the crew. All my girls. Can't wait to see y'all. I see you, Yasmin. I see you. And good luck to your team. I know I hate the Broncos, but good luck to your team, Taylor Hill, my Victoria's Secret friend. Good luck to your team, though, for real. Good luck. You know, you and your sister, I know y'all harp on me all the fucking time. But good luck to your team, though, for real. You know, good luck to your team. Like I said, I don't care who the fuck wins that game. I'm already in the 2016 season mode right now. Can't wait for this game to end so I don't have to hear about it no more. I don't have to hear about Cam Newton ass no more. And you know what's tough, man? You know, because I hate Cam Newton so much, but I got a couple of people that I know that love them some Cam Newton. Even my mom, she like Cam Newton. I'm like, oh, fuck. I can't say anything bad about this fucking guy around these motherfuckers. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It's so awkward, man. And I had to lie to people about saying I was going to watch the Super Bowl, man. I'm not watching this shit. Who knows? I might give in to the NFL and is tuned in, you know. But I'm not an NFL slappy like that. When I say I'm not watching something, I'm not watching something, man. But I know it won't be anything else on TV, man. I ain't got no plans to go outside that night, so it's gonna be real tough to avoid the game. If I end up doing this, man, I'm gonna let y'all know if I do it too, man. If I end up doing this, it's gonna be fucking interesting, man. But I hope y'all like my thoughts on this shit. You know, about the Calvin Johnson shit. We'll see what happens. You know, gonna be an interesting off season. Can't wait for the NBA All-Star game in Toronto. Woo! Can't wait. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. All right, y'all. Peace.